since you've been teaching yoga for quite some time now, what is yoga in its true sense?
From the Garden State, New Jersey, from one mom to another, it's time for Mom's Talk. Here's Avani.
Welcome, Supermoms, to Mom's Talk. I'm your host, Avani, and our today's Supermom guest is a yoga instructor. She's joining us from North Carolina, welcoming Vinita. Vinita, it's lovely to have you.
Hi, Avani. Great to be here. Thank you.
Vinita, yoga, it's so popular. And in recent years, it has been the most in thing to do for youngsters, as well as for women of our age. So I wanted to ask you, since you've been teaching yoga for quite some time now, what is yoga in its true sense?
Well, in true sense, it is about mind and body connection, but that does become a little out there. So for me personally, I love the feeling of community, to be with the students and kind of explore different aspects of your body. I mean, to put yourself in different poses, asanas, and kind of work your way towards those goals. So I feel like it's a kind of a nice journey with the community, with your group.
Do you think that yoga has been modernized?
Definitely.
Because we've seen, since coming from India, we've seen what yoga is in our definition, and what we see over here, it's a little bit different.
Yes. Oh, for sure. It's fashionable, right? I mean, you have to have the Lululemons of the world, and immediately you wear your malas, and then all the trends of hot yoga and everything, rock and roll yoga. It's definitely, people are cashing in on the whole yoga trend for sure. And coming from India, studied in India, it did bother me for a long time what was happening. At the same time, I'm like, hey, if this is bringing people to the mat and getting them to practice, and in the long run, it's going to benefit them. So if rock and roll yoga with music works for you, as long as you're doing something rather than sitting in front of the TV, I'm okay with it.
All right. So how did you get into teaching yoga, Vinita?
So my mom has been going to Iyengar Institute in Pune for many years. So she was the one who dragged me. I'm saying dragged me because I was 15, 16 at the time, and the classes are at 6 a.m. And as a teenager, the last thing you want to do is wake up at 5 o'clock to go do yoga. And then, of course, they are super strict out there. So I have to say, when I started out, I was just like, this is just not for me, not going to work. And a year or two later on, I started by teaching more like fitness classes and things at the local gym in Kalvalkars and Gazelle. And I realized that, no, I really want to learn yoga. And then when it came from my end, I think I was ready for the journey, and I was ready to deal with whatever, waking up at 5 and getting that and everything.
You got the hang of it.
Yes.
Then you thought that, okay, this is my thing to do.
Absolutely, yes.
Vinita, itne time se yoga has been prevalent for so many years. मगर पहले उसको इतनी importance नहीं मिलती थी जितनी आज के time पर मिलती है. So according to you, what has changed that people are attracted so much to yoga?
So definitely the advertising and commercialization of it. So, जब मेरे mom ने शुरू किया था, people just thought it was weird, like, what is this yoga? And, the Iyengar Institute has been there since like 69 or 70, and not a whole lot of local people went. Actually, a lot more foreigners came at the time. And I believe Shilpa Shetty was one of the first few celebrities that really started to put yoga on the map. And at the same time, what happened in the United States was it really took off, right? Iyengar came here, did a lot of workshops, Patabi Joyce came, and then Ashtanga started to get popular. And then we all know the whole Bikram fiasco. And I think it just took off in the United States and Europe. And I think at some point, I think people in India started to realize, Arey, ये तो हमारा है, हम नहीं कर रहे, बाकी the rest of the world is doing it, but हम नहीं कर रहे. So I think that's when a lot more people in India started to get interested in yoga, and it did become trendy. And I know I keep going back to Instagram, but I think that really made it more like fashionable to do yoga. And if I can get a picture on mountaintop with one leg up in the air, I'm going to get that many more followers. And it's good and bad because it definitely made it popular, but I think United States has taken it to a whole new level of commercialization. So I wish India could harness that a little bit, just to, because apne desh se hai, so it should get the boost. So I hope so. I hope that more people do it, so it will get more popular, and yoga mats and all the yoga leggings can be produced in India rather than getting from the United States.
That is so true. In fact, you can come up with your own yoga clothing brand now, Vinita's.
Yeah. Definitely.
So is there more to, I mean, when you study this, you have studied it literally. So what is it like? Is it just that you learn the different poses and you try to get to do that? I mean, you just make your body very flexible, or is it more to it? I mean, क्या सीखते हैं आप जब योगा आपने सीखा था अभी?
So Iyengar is very, in a way, structured, right? So unke asana practice is a big thing, and using props like, ropes use karo, strap use karo, blankets and supports. So it's kind of a little 3-part practice, right? Asana practice is one, then you get into pranayam, which is your breathing, and then meditation. So 1 ghante ke class mein, of course, you cannot put all of these things in. So at Iyengar, it was like, you study your asanas, you really get good at it. So like kabhi hota tha ki like month after month, we are doing the same Virabhadrasana, Trikonasana, and to the point where in your sleep, you should be able to do that, So they did concentrate a lot more on that, I have to say. And then pranayam was a different section of class that you then stayed on to study more. And meditation kind of was a little overlooked for the students kind of coming in. It was like more of the advanced teachers that were getting more into meditation. But asana and pranayam kind of becomes and it mingles in very well, right? Because when you're holding your asana, when you're holding your pose, you are doing that deep breathing and ujjayi breathing. So, it really kind of, the way Iyengar was more asana based. And honestly, that's how a lot of the studios are. If you want to do pranayam, then that is a different kind of training, or more advanced training for all of those. Yeah.
I think Baba Ramdev को तो credit जाता है योगा को popularize करने के लिए.
Yeah. See, when I just come here, Shilpa Shetty was getting into the whole trend, right? And Ramdev was kind of much later, Baba Ramdev. So for me, it was, I tend to forget about that just because I was not there in India at the time. And, it's not a celebrity, right? Bollywood actress karti hai, Kareena karti hai, Anushka karti hai, Alia karti hai. So all of a sudden it's like, main bhi karti hu, So like the whole aerial yoga and all of that is all popular too. So, but Iyengar Institute had ropes since when they opened up, but it wasn't all that trendy at the time. But now you put a nice fabric and you put a little wraparound pose, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I can do that.
Vinita, you mentioned meditation भी एक part है योगा का. तो ये meditation करना काफी मुश्किल होता है लोगों के लिए. So what would be your tips on for people who actually want to meditate?
So, I think people again have very large expectations. Like, मैं पहली बार meditate करने बैठूंगी, तो like I'm just going to get into the zone. And again, it's not going to happen, right? Apna mind is so chanchal and it's like running over things that you need to do for the day. So even if you start out with 2-3 minutes, and trust me, even that feels like an eternity to sit and be quiet and just be patient. Like the minute you feel कि अरे मैं सब्जी क्या बनाऊंगी, mind जा रहा होगा, तो like kind of turn it back to your breathing, back to your focal point. So it's not as easy as it seems, but once you get into it, it is pretty amazing. It really puts you in a completely different zone.
So do you have any thoughts when you are actually, as you said, it is difficult, it's we keep on thinking of so many things and it's hard for us to bring it back. How is it really like? I mean, जब आप वाकई में, क्योंकि आपने तो इतना किया हुआ है ये, so when you are actually meditating, what is it like? Is it just blank without any thoughts in your mind?
In a way, yes. It does get to that point where after you are done, you're like, I was not really even thinking of anything. It just automatically goes into that. I personally like more visualization in my head, like, like as if you're up beach pe baithe ho and you're just watching the waves come in and out. And I concentrate on just the waves, right? The inhale is as the wave comes in, exhale is as the wave goes out. And after some time, you just don't realize that you have got into this zone. And I have to set a timer because I don't know how to otherwise get out of meditation, because Pune mein hote to they would, ring a bell or, or the teacher would start talking, but hum apne aap karte ho to like, I don't know. I've never tested how long I can be seated there, but usually it's a 15-20 minute meditation. So yeah, it's really a blank canvas at that time, so
that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you for giving us all these wonderful tips. I'm gonna start doing that now.
Yeah.
And I'll call you and let you know whether I got into that blank phase or not.
All right, sounds good.
So have you asked your kids to get into yoga?
So I have one boy. He's 24. He's a Navy pilot, and I tried. But when it's mom saying that yoga is good, it's not really something that is cool. Although my husband does practice, so a few years ago he started to attend my classes again at the YMCA and loved it, and now he doesn't miss a day of yoga or meditation. So I at least got through to one person.
That's lovely. I think listening to our conversation, there will be many more who will get into doing yoga, whether it's rock and roll yoga or hot yoga or the yoga.
Yes, and these days it's become like a trend. You have nothing to do, do a yoga certification, and I think it is getting a little too diluted. But I'm hoping that students will kind of reach out to the teachers that they connect with and find some authenticity in their practice rather than all of these trendy ones where you don't have to be acrobatic to really be doing yoga.
I can see some tattoos on your hand when you just moved it. Yeah. Are those asanas too?
Thank you. Yes, they are asanas. So there were some asanas that I was trying to work towards for many years, and last year I got them. So I was like, I'm going to get a tattoo to show that.
That's cool. That's a good way of keeping yourself motivated too.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing, right? It's fashionable and it motivates you.
Yes. Because people see that and they're like, oh, show me your handstand. And, I have to keep up my practice so I can just show them the handstand.
See, the tattoos are keeping you in shape now.
I should use that. Yes.
All right, Vinita, आपने बताया your son is a Navy pilot.
Mm-hmm.
ये सब कैसे हुआ? क्योंकि यूजुअली तो इंडियन फैमिलीज में ऐसा देखने कम ही मिलता है.
Definitely, yeah. नहीं, वो high school में था, and he was like exploring engineer banu. Yeah, definitely did not want to be a doctor. And as he was exploring, he heard about all of these different academies, like Pune में जैसे NDA है. यहाँ पे every Army, Navy, Air Force has its own academies. And he got really interested in Navy. So he went to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, and it honestly came out of the blue. He was a very quiet kid, and I'm like, you know what you're getting into, right? But he's in Pensacola right now, and he's working towards. So it's all training phase, and it takes about 2 years or so. So he's still in the training phase. So we'll see where the future takes him.
All the best to him for that. What would be your message for our moms, Vinita?
I would tell them that definitely make time for yourself. It doesn't have to be anything physical, even if it's artistic or yoga, or go for a walk, but take that time and take time to yourself, because kids are going to grow up, they're going to fly on their own and do their thing. And then a lot of moms that come to me now, they turn around going, what do I do now? I'm an empty nester and I have nothing to do. And so I think if you nurture that along as the kids are growing, I think that will really help them. So yeah.
That's wonderful, Vinita. एक चीज और मुझे आपसे पूछनी थी. Have you come across any challenges while learning or teaching yoga?
Definitely. So I think people think that yoga is easy, it's a stretch, and there's a lot more to it. And if somebody comes in my class, and usually we pick up poses for the month and we work towards them. So repetitiveness, we are doing it over and over and over again till you kind of get to the best of your ability. And using props definitely helps. But to have realistic expectations, right? Like if you want to get into a split and you've never done yoga and you think, oh, 3-4 classes may I'm going to get to a Hanuman asana. It's like, no, it's a journey. So it's about taking those baby steps and working, and everybody's so different. So working with your body and your limitations, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lovely having you, Vinita. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Avani, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, this is Avani from Mom's Talk. Help me spread the word and join me on my mission of motivating other moms by sharing the video. Thank you for watching.